I thought life would be a lot different growing up. When I was younger, I thought about the future in a positive way. I thought growing up meant things would start making sense. I thought people would mature, become more understanding, and that life itself would become clearer. But as I got older and started experiencing more things that weren't so positive, my perception started changing very quickly. And one question keeps coming back to my mind. Why do people lie so easily? Why do people pretend to be something they're not? Why do people make everything so complicated when it doesn't have to be? The way life is presented to you when you're younger makes it sound like this overall positive experience. And yes, life can be positive, or at least have positive moments. But overall, humans make this experience agonizing. I don't understand why people make everything so difficult. I don't understand why there is so much hate between people. Sometimes it feels like everybody hates everybody. Now, obviously, that's not literally true. Not everyone hates everyone. There are people out there who care, who try to do good, who try to understand each other. But as time goes on, it feels like that number is shrinking. Either that or people are just no longer hiding how they really feel. When I was younger, I thought growing up would be interesting in a good way. And honestly, life is interesting, just not always in the way I imagine. There are two different types of interesting. There's the type where life is interesting because you're traveling, meeting people, working on projects, building things, discovering who you are. But there's another kind of interesting too. The kind where your car gets its wheels stolen and you lose your job on the same day. The kind where a week later you lose someone close to you. The kind where you turn on the news and they're talking about another possible war somewhere in the world. And you just sit there thinking, wow, that's interesting. Not in a good way, just in a way that makes you realize how chaotic everything really is. And when you look at the world long enough, you start noticing something else too. Everyone is suffering in their own way. Someone could look at your life and say, you have it better than them. Maybe you have a house, a car, a job. From their perspective, your life might look easier, but suffering doesn't work like that. Your suffering is still your suffering. Someone can be rich and still be lonely. Someone can look successful, but be completely broken internally. Someone can have everything they thought they wanted and still feel like something is missing. And when you start realizing all of this at the same time, it becomes overwhelming. You start asking yourself questions that don't really have clear answers. Questions like, what are we really doing here? Because if life is just a constant cycle of conflict, lies, suffering, and people hurting each other, then what exactly is the point? Sometimes it honestly feels like the world is just building pressure little by little. And eventually that pressure has to go somewhere. Maybe it just keeps building until something explodes. Maybe that's just how humanity works. And sometimes you even start thinking something darker. Maybe everyone has to go bye-bye. Maybe the cycle only ends when the cycle ends completely. But hey, I don't know. But these are the kinds of thoughts you start having when you spend enough time paying attention to the world around you. Isn't that funny? Then you just gotta wake up and go to work. After realizing all of this, after thinking about all of this, you just gotta get up and go to work, right? Because that's what's expected of you. Or go to school, or show up for your kids. This is funny, man. Anyways, my name is Mr. Anonymous, and I will see you again. Hopefully. Goodbye.